Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Peak District trip. If you haven't watched part 1, make sure you go check that out. I will leave a link up here. We visited Dovedale and really interested in viaduct and really all that good stuff. Today, Ellie is in the snow and is in the ice and it's absolutely freezing. You can see behind me that used to be a stream. That is definitely not anymore. It suddenly got very freezing and as you can see, very snowy up here. What we're doing right now is we're trying to find a plane crash from World War II, a crash site. The Peak District is littered with them and we really want to try and find this one. This is one of the biggest, one of the most famous and most popular ones. So we are exploring these moors right now. It is somewhere around here, using our navigational skills. Let's see if we can find it. So what you can see behind me, right off in the distance over there, is actually the city of Manchester. We're actually really close to the Peak District. You can visit Sheffield and Manchester, all kind of within a very short hour-long drive going through the middle. But yeah, it's freezing. Let's keep moving. So here we are, we found the wreck. We've just seen the first remnants here. The thing that initially strikes me is just how much is left. It's so much bigger than I thought. And it just looks incredible with all the snow and ice around it. So this plane was actually an American plane. It was flying back to America. It was kind of a photographic reconnaissance aircraft. It had actually been used on Bikini Atoll as well, and if you didn't know about that, it was a test ground for sort of atomic and nuclear missiles, and it's still radioactive to this day. No one can visit there, and this plane was there doing reconnaissance around that. Unfortunately, because of low fog and really bad conditions, it misjudged. It thought it had been over this mountain that we climbed, but it is not, and it crashed right here in the fog. And unfortunately, all 13 crew did lose their lives when it crashed, but it's just an absolutely incredible ruin. Let's go up to the main bit now and see what else we can see. So there is literally a full wheel intact here with the tyres still on it. I don't think too many people know to visit this place. It's really quiet. I mean, obviously there's absolutely no one around, and I would totally suggest if you can make the walk up the hill. It's quite a difficult walk. You have to go off the paths a lot to get here because it's literally in the middle on top of this really flat kind of mound here. But if you can make it, I totally recommend it if you're really interested in stuff like this. It's so surreal to see. Pretty amazing. It's definitely my favourite thing I've seen so far in the Peak District. So we have been here for about probably I'd say 20 minutes. Unfortunately we have to move on really quickly because it's getting dark, as you can probably see. It's about 4 p.m. Whoop. There we go, and icy as well. Dark and icy is not a thing that mix, so we really want to make a move and get back to the car because we've got about, I think, about a 4-kilometer walk to get back. And obviously, yeah, it is Christmas Day right now, so we have a epic Christmas dinner to make. Yep. Tomorrow is the last day of our little trip. We made the most of kind of like the 3 days heading up to the Peak District for a little bit. But yeah, so we will walk back. I will record again when we have returned. So we've been walking for quite a while. I feel like I just have to stop because the Manchester, the very same Manchester we saw earlier, is now lit up. Right now, another thing I wanted to mention whilst we're driving back, we are driving around a road right now called Snake Road, also known as Snake Pass. And I don't know if you're interested in, you know, cars or driving or anything like that, but it's definitely worth driving on this road if you're interested in that, because it is known as one of the best roads in the Peak District for a reason. It's dark right now and icy, so we can't drive, you know, too fast. We've got to keep slow and careful because that's what we are. But yeah, just as an extra little bonus point, if you enjoy driving, this is a road for you. Hey Ellie, how's the roast dinner going?
When it's going.
It's going. In the meantime, enjoy some cinematics. Nice and healthy, right?
Yeah, so healthy, especially with that amount of cheese.
And there was our Christmas feast. That took a lot of time to prepare, but that marks the end of my little food interlude of our travel videos. What we're going to tomorrow is we're going to go and see Matlock, which is one of the the most popular towns in the Peak District, and I'm also going to talk to you about some of the other towns that I recommend that you see if you've got more time. Because of our time purposes, we've only got a last day, so we're going to go to Matlock and see what we can see. So it is nighttime right now, and so it is the morning of our final day, and I slept absolutely epically last night, so we woke up much later than we expected, but we found out yesterday we did actually walk on those two walks via the Monsell Viaduct and to the plane crash site. We walked a total of about 13 to 14 miles, so that's probably why I haven't felt that tired in a long time, but here we are ready. So today we are going to visit the town of Matlock. So let's go. So right now we are in Matlock, which is one of the kind of most popular, most famous towns in the Peak District. It's one that I recommend you visit if you've got the time. You've got here the Heights of Abraham, which is a really interesting kind of cable cars that lead you up to the top of these mountains that you can see behind me, which I would definitely recommend. And there's also some really interesting parks and gardens, isn't there, Ellie? You seem to want to be in the video.
I can't see very well because my computer doesn't my eyes.
But yeah, there's really interesting parks and gardens, there's kind of like museums and really good stuff. There's a lot of really nice towns in the Peak District, of which some and more I will tell you about in a second. So we were just a second ago walking up this really interesting high street. It's called the Derwent Way in the town of Matlock. There's so many awesome shops in here that you can see here, so many like antiques and really cool music shop with so many awesome records that I saw. So I would definitely recommend, if you're into all that stuff, go and check that out. It's right by the river that you can see behind us right now. We're right in the center of the town. Another town I would recommend is the town of Buxton. I mentioned it in my last video. It's kind of classed as the gateway to the Peak District, and there's kind of museums, gardens, art galleries, all that good stuff there that you might really enjoy as well. So many good towns, so yeah, I'd recommend them all. And that is our visit to Matlock, and therefore our visit to the entire Peak District over the past 3 days. It's finished. We are on our way home now. I really wish I had so much more time in the Peak District. I think with all of the things we saw that we could have done, we could have easily had like 7 days there or more. So if you're planning it, I recommend take a week if you want, because there's so much to do. As we were driving from where we were staying, which is near Buxton, to here in Matlock, we saw so many things, so many really awesome mountains that we wanted to climb, and even some old kind of World War II bunkers and everything. I think a lot of things with the Peak District as well as like travel advice, look for all the little things. Whilst you're driving to your end destination, don't just think that there's nothing in between, because you will see so much. And there was a lot of opportunities where, you know, we stopped and we had a look and we found something interesting that we never even knew we were going to see. So I'd say definitely go for it and do all of that. But yeah, that is the end of my little two-part Peak District series. I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, make sure you subscribe, because I will be going many more places very soon once travel is allowed and starts to return to normal. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.